Yesterday we start about hoops concepts, right?
Yes,
Jashna,
sir.
Disha, and we were in the hoops concepts in Python programming language, right?
Yes.
So from that one, how we understood the how we can creating the class and how we can creating the object. That the two things we done, right? And how we can able to access the attribute from the class and how we can access the methods from the class that we were done, right? Okay, just 1 second.
So,
Oh, sorry guys, that's my mistake. I couldn't on my mic. Yeah, so here, so I would like to try to explain about methods in classes. So there are two types of methods are there. The first one is the special methods, and second one is the okay user defined methods. So user defined methods means even special methods also can be okay created by the okay user only, But the special methods, it can be executed automatically without executing, okay, without calling. So let me take a small example. I just creating the class, and you are giving the class name is any name you can provide it, but I'm using the class name itself. And here I'm creating the a particular function, and the function is, for example, underscore underscore init underscore underscore. See, try to observe here, this is the underscore underscore in init underscore underscore. This is also method, because of which is started with the def, right? So this method can be executed automatically when object is created, so that you can say that it's a constructor. So constructor means constructor method. So constructor means when class is, when object is created with help of the class, then this is the method can be executed without any calling. Let's do a small example. I am creating the object one. I'm just creating the object one. So class name. So like this, I'm just creating the two objects. I'm just creating the two objects. Okay, so I'm just creating the two objects, object one and object two. So object one and object two you just created, right? So three objects you created. When we are creating the three objects, when we are creating the three objects, so this is the method is automatically called. I, Revant, and Money. So Divya Reddy is nothing but it's a money, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So here we just try to observe here. This is the method you're not calling. Usually, if you're creating the function or method, you have to be call it actually. You should call it. See, but even in a seventh and eighth and ninth, you're not at called. You're just creating object. When we are creating object, this is the constructor method can be executed automatically. So this is the special method. Special method always starts with underscore underscore and ends with underscore underscore. If any method in a class, so if any method in a class which is starts and ends with two underscores, starts and ends with two underscores, then okay, if any methods which is starts and ends with the two underscores, then that kind of method we are calling it say the special method. Okay, yep, this is the one method. For example, we can creating the one more method, and so here if you want to print the self also, you can print self. I am the constructor. Okay, so for the three objects, which is three different self objects, self variables which is holding it. Okay, for first time object one information, for second call second object information, for third time third object information which is holding. And you can creating the one more construct one more special method, which is the destructor. So destructor in the sense del. So when you want to be delete any object, whatever the object you want to be deleted, then we can use the this particular destructor, we can use it actually. So here we can use the, this is the destructor. So this is the destructor can be executed when we are deleting the object. I am destructor. Okay, so let me try to for this example del object one. When you are deleting the object one, so automatically this is the method can be executed. When we are deleting the object 2, so again this is the same method can be executed, because of you creating the object 2 with help of the same class, so that when you are deleting automatically, this is the method only it can be invoked. So if you want to delete the object 3, you can delete actually. So try to observe here, try to observe here, you creating the three objects, you created the three objects. Excuse me, actually my health is not good. uh, no. Okay, when we are creating the object 1, object 2 and object 3, okay, with help of the same class, automatically this is the constructor method was executed. Meanwhile, when we are deleting the three objects, then three times this is the same method, the same special method was executed. Careful observe here, this is the object 1, memory location. So the same memory location you're deleting. So this is my object 2 memory location. The same memory location we're deleting at a destructor. And this is my object 3 memory location. The same memory location we are freezing actually. I mean, you're freeing actually. Okay. So this is the way the special methods without calling it can be executed. That's exactly the special methods. I hope you understood, right? Without method callings from object, class methods can execute. That we are calling it say special methods. Okay, so whatever the class methods it can be executed without calling from the object, those particular methods we are calling it say special methods. Here we have two examples. One is the constructor and second one is the destructor. Constructor can be executed when you are constructing the object, and destructor can be executed when you are destroying the objects. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Okay. Now, so for example, you can creating the constructors, destructors, and everything. So by the time of calling the object, we can send the data. For example, here I'm sending the 34 and you're sending the 67, and for example you're sending the 67 or else so for example 7, and here you're not sending anything. See, the maximum number of arguments it can be receiving the two, right? So that we have to be creating the argument 1. Okay, so the argument 1 is for example none. So argument 2, the default arguments we have to be create actually. So if you're not creating the default arguments, it could be an error if you're not receiving it. Okay, that's the reason. So when you're constructing, so the class, by the time of calling the class, how many number of maximum elements you can able to send it, that many arguments make sure that you have to be defined, and by default it can be mentioned as the none, so that if you're not sending anything, it can be considered the none actually. Okay, so this is the values if you want to use inside of the class, then we can use the self dot org1 equal to org1. Okay, and so self dot org2 we can use the org2. Okay, see, when you are assigning the arguments data as like self dot self dot some value. So if you are using the self, this is the values we can use anywhere inside of the another method actually. For example, this is my free defined method or user defined method. This is my method 1. Okay, it is not having any kind of arguments, but I want to print the information of the self argument 1, self argument 2. So if you want to print it, then simply we can use the self dot. When I'm using the self dot, then we can able to access the that particular argument 1 globally instead of that particular class. For example, if you want to access the argument 2 and make sure that, so you already assigning the argument 2 as the self dot argument 2, so that this is the variable we can able to access in any methods as a globally. Okay, see, you're not deleting now, you're just creating the object. And now what I'm doing, I want to be print these arguments, so that object1 dot method, object1 dot method, and object2 dot method, and object3 dot method. So three objects you created, so that three times you're calling the method with the three different objects by the time what it is printing. Careful observe here. So you're calling the method 1, and the argument 1 is 34 and 67, so that we are getting the 34 and 34 and 67. But for second object 2, you're calling the we are sending only 7. so which is holding into the argument 1, so that which is printing the 7, but argument 2 it doesn't have anything, so that it's a none. But in case of object 3, you're not sending anything, so by default if it was none, so that it was printing the none and none. See, here you're not passing any argument 1 and argument 2 this particular method, but it can be acquiring this particular information from the constructor. So when you are mentioning the self, so whatever the variable, whatever the argument we have in the first one, that if you're mentioning as this here, then it can be accessing anywhere in that particular class. That's the use of the self, not only for no giving a first argument, it can help you for globally accessing that particular attributes throughout of that particular class. For that one we can use the self argument. Any question? Any questions? Any questions, guys? I'm waiting for your confirmation. I can't.
No.
Clear, sir.
Okay. So you just need to take an ownership to talk to me, okay? So my health is not good. Hope you understood. Okay, so this is the way you can creating the special methods. We can creating the user defined methods, and you can pass the arguments to the constructor, and those arguments we can access from anywhere with help of the self dot arguments, okay, or self dot variables throughout of that particular class we can access with help of the self argument. Okay, that's fine. So that's about free defined methods and user defined methods, and passing arguments as well. Now here I have a question is data hiding. So data hiding is a feature of the oops feature. So which means that we can stop hiding, or we cannot access the variables outside of the class. Okay, how we can do it? So data hiding means, for example, we can defining the class, and meanwhile we can defining some class attributes. For example, which is started with the two underscores. If any variable or if anything which is started with the two underscore, we can't access actually. Okay, so let's talk a small example. I'm just creating the object, so class name. So here you're creating the object, right? So previously if you want to access these variables, so how we are doing actually? So first one is object dot and attribute name, right? Underscore underscore var. So when we are using this one, we are getting this kind of attribute error. So see, underscore underscore var you already defining inside of the class, but if you want access outside of the class, which we are not getting because of this is the variable is a private variable. So we can set the private data member or data element. If we set the data member as the private, then we cannot access the outside of the class. How you are deciding that it's a private? So when the variable which is started with the two underscores, then you are making this particular attributes are the private. When the attributes are private, we can't access directly. Okay, so this kind of things we're calling it's a data hiding. Data hiding means whatever the variables you want to stop to hide access outside of the class, those particular variables we just started with the two underscore, that we're calling it say data hiding. Data is there, but you hide it here so that you're unable to access. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So make take it this small example. Done, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when the data member is hidden, then how we can able to access? So for accessing this kind of data members, for that one we have a concept is data encapsulation. Data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means whatever the data member which is hidden, it may be variable or it may be method. So if you want to access that one, make sure that so object name dot single underscore and class name and two underscore of variable name. So this is the way, this is the indirect way we can able to access the data members, private variables. So that kind of thing we are calling it say data encapsulation. Previous one and this one is the same only. For understanding this one, what I should do, the difference you should know, right? Same example without a data hiding. I'm giving this example is I'm just removing the two underscores. If I'm removing the two underscore, we can directly access this particular data. We are not getting any kind of error. But when I started with the two underscores, if I was trying to accessing it, then we are getting the attribute error. But this kind of thing we are overcoming with a different concept that we are calling it a data encapsulation. So data encapsulation means whatever the variable is a private variable that we can able to access with help of the data encapsulation concept, which means so the object dot and single underscore and whatever the class name we have it, that particular class name and that particular private attribute, so that we can able to access the private data members outside of the class. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Note this one. Same thing we can do for the methods as well. You can have the methods, right? So for example, you can creating the two variables and two methods. And so here my method one is two underscores. So if I want to access the method one, so which is not possible. So you creating the object, and if you want to access the method one, okay, object. So you just creating the object, and after that one, if you want to call the method one, so in this particular example also, it's a data hiding has happened so that we can't access the this method outside of the class. Okay, to overcome this one, so we can have the encapsulation concept. So it's the same like a variable, how we are accessing the variable, same way you should go for accessing the methods as well. Oh, okay, so here we should mention the at least one argument we have to mention, otherwise you will be getting that kind of error. Okay, see, how we are accessing the variables. Same way we can able to access the methods as well. Same way we can call the methods as well with help of the data encapsulation. So take this example, guys. Guys, that's for today's class. We'll continue tomorrow with the continuation of the OOPS concepts. And who are not attending the previous classes, make sure that we can finish your recordings and come back to the tomorrow session. Okay? I would like to upload.
Can you check the recordings because I'm not able to open any of them?
Is it true?
Yeah, the
Let me check. Is there all of you are facing the same issue, guys?
No, sir, we can access.
See, this the recording is playing, right? So Disha, you can try now.
I can play the first like the first topic wise live lessons, but the not the second one.
Second recording,
Yeah.
this recording, right?
No,
Which
no,
one?
not this one. The last one, the file handlings and yeah. This one, the first one, 9/2/2022.
9. This one, right?
Can you no. Can you go down? Yeah. The first one on the yeah. Like all of them I cannot.
These are the. It's
Ye-
not recordings. These are the recordings. See,
So okay, so for the first topic, like I can only see few of them. I cannot able to see the oops concept for loops and everything. I don't know why.
Disha, what I'm trying to tell you. So here, 001 topic wise, class wise recordings, right?
Yeah.
So these are the recordings. Okay.
Yeah, I got that
These are the
thing.
documents. These documents you can download in your local computer, and we can open through Jupyter Notebook only. Okay. Then only we can access. But these recordings, which one we are facing an issue? Loops, huh? For example, while loop, you can play. Okay.
Okay, I will check it again.
You can check it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's playing all. Okay. So uploaded everything. So today class also I can upload, and as well as I can upload the today's class file as well. Okay. And go through, check it, previous class and today's class, and come to the session as well. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
And also,
Yeah.
can you also upload the remaining classes which we went through after October 7th?
Sure, I will do it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.